Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Sandro Tonali, Atalanta colours donned on his shoulders. 24 years old. £10 million more than what I agreed last episode. Yep, I had to overpay a little. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Atalanta. Today we have the start of season number 4 today. Hopefully, we're going to kick off our retaining of the Serie A title and hopefully what is going to be a historic season for this football club. Now, of course, last episode was the Sandro Tonali episode. Were we going to be able to get him? Were we not going to be able to get him? In the end, I had to cancel the deal that we agreed last episode because Renato Sanchez didn't leave soon enough. I kept delaying. AC Milan eventually told me to jog on. And by the time that Renato Sanchez did indeed move for 30 million to Barcelona, the Tonali deal had fallen through. And when I went back to talk to, Milan about Tonali, they told me 78 million isn't good enough. We want 88 million. Now, 88 million I didn't actually have at the time. So I had to, offer it in installments, hence the fact we've had to pay £10 million extra. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but I think he's worth each and every penny. And for all the pain and suffering I went through, £10 million just felt like a cost I had to stomach, I suppose, to get the deal over the line. So besides the Tonali and Sanchez deals, nothing else going on this transfer window. Relatively straightforward, I feel like. 4 good additions to the team. Our net spend in the end just shy of £40 million, which, when you consider we made it to a Champions League final and all the success we had, isn't actually the largest net spend in the world. In terms of where it leaves things, if we just look at the season preview, you can see here, we're in a good little spot in Serie A. Still the favourites to win everything, with the transfer window now shut. You might notice it is the 22nd of September. That does mean we have started the season, but we're back today for a triple header of Lazio, Juventus, Milan. I'll be honest, it's not the kindest week of fixtures, but I felt like it would be a good time to come back to really test ourselves for this new season with our new signings and with a slightly new tactical system, because this season, 2 centre-mids on attack in front of Tonali. Of course, traditionally, we've played a box-to-box midfielder with a centre-mid on attack. Centre-mids on attack this year, let's make no secrets of it, it's a very good role in Football Manager. It's a role that, although it's got an attacking duty, they will actually come back. They will actually act like normal centre-mids, but they just make these really good runs from deep. And when you've got a player like Zach Haryan, who last year got double figures playing this role, and of course we signed Thiago Almada, who I'd, argue, is also very good at this role, it would feel like an absolute waste to not use these players together to hopefully cause carnage in the middle and, maybe see us get a few more goals, albeit we might leave ourselves slightly lighter at the back. I suppose that's where we hope that Tonali and his immense defensive ability is going to come in, and when our 2 centre-mids go walkies, this man will be there to break everything down behind them. Now, we have started the season. I've had to rotate the team a little bit. We've had injuries here and there. As a result, this is really our first time to play the best 11 all at once, so a little bit exciting. I say that. Raspadori's carrying a little bit of a knock for this first game, but hopefully by the end of the episode, we will have played our best 11. We kicked off our season against Udinese, a team who I feel like we've played quite a lot right at the beginning of seasons. This time around, a 5-3 win. It was more convincing, I feel like, than the scoreline lets on, to be honest. It was 4-0 after 45 minutes. Zach Haryan getting on the score sheet, Raspadori with 2. As I mentioned, he has had an injury to start the season. You can see here, passed a fitness test for 45 minutes. Doesn't really feel like it's worth the risk necessarily, especially because we've got Luca and Sesko, who can just start the game against Lazio today. And, after this 5-3 win, 2 further wins followed. A 2-1 win against Sassuolo, not the most convincing, but Raspadori with 2. And then most recently, in the league at least, we took on Spezia, beat them 2-0. Great to see Wilfred Gnotto getting off to a good start to the season. 1 goal in his first start of the season. Over in the Champions League, we started off our campaign with a win against Sevilla. Looking at our group, we have Celtic, Sevilla and Liverpool. Not the easiest group in the world, but a group that I hope that we can at least finish in the top 2 of. And, if we just have a look at that opening game, that 5-1 victory, you can see here, Luca, 9.9 rating, got a hat-trick, Sesko doing very, very well too. Almada also chipping in with his first ever goal in Atalanta colours. Things you love to see. Elsewhere, Ricci came in at centre-mid, didn't do very well. Samuele is on the bench now with the best 11. I spent 45 million on this guy. I don't want to label him a flop yet, but it might say something that I'm now training him to play as a wide midfielder out on the right-hand side. I think he could be a good wide midfielder in our system. Maybe I'm going crazy with Renato Sanchez leaving. I do need someone who can play there. Richie's the man who has won the award to be the backup to Musa in the right mid if we need it. He is on the bench today. So in terms of the opposition teams today, of course, we've got Milan, who currently sit top of the league unbeaten. Lazio, who are going to be taken on, have had a bit of an unconvincing start to the season. Their main man, Immobile, he's not exactly been off to a great goal-scoring kind of start by his own standards. Only 2 goals in 3 games. Last year, this man got 47 in the league. He was the entire reason why last year Lazio ended up finishing 3rd. And, well, they're going to be looking to get back into gear because to start things, they've not been very good this season. This is the team for that first game. You can see here, we've got Mancini playing at right centre-back, Badiashile at left centre-back, Romero in the middle, Marco in goal, has just signed a new 5-year deal with the club, which is a really, really good sign, I feel like. Of course, he is the captain at 24 years old. He's an extraordinary goalkeeper who I kind of see as our long-term option. In the centre of the midfield, of course, we've got Tonali with Zakharyan and Almada. That is a very scary trio. DeMarco out on the left-hand side, once upon a time was our main creative outlet in the team. That has, I guess, subsided slightly with some of the new additions. Players like Almada and Tonali just offer insane creative value, but make no mistake, this man's still very good. 2 assists in his first 3, playing out on the left-hand side. Out on the right, of course, we've got Musa, who has 1 assist in his first 3. Still an extraordinarily good player. And in the final third, it is going to be Luca alongside Sesko, as I already mentioned, Raspadori on the bench, alongside a whole host of other players, hoping that in this first game, we can get off to a win. I feel like, on paper at least, Milan and Juventus' teams are a bit better than Lazio's, and I want revenge after the cup final against Lazio last year. I'm still not over the way that final went down. Okay, let's see how we get on here. Very keen to see how our centre mids operate. Of course, we've had a few games where we've scored 5 goals. We've also had a few games where we've looked a little bit fragile at the back, perhaps as a result of that change. Today's game really is our first test against really good opposition of how Almada and Zakharyan can work as a midfield duo. And while Romagnoli has gifted the ball to Sesko, who gets his 2nd goal of the season inside the first 6 minutes. I wish I could attribute that goal to our amazing centre-mid setup that's all new and exciting. To be fair, Zakharyan made a nice run through the middle. And then, well, Romagnoli, great little assist, passes it to Sesko, finds his way through, smashes it into the bottom corner. That's a gift. 16 minutes gone here. We have been really, really on top in this game, but Lazio currently in possession and looking to bring the ball forward through Marusic. You can see 57% of possession. Lazio yet to have a shot on goal. I feel like I'm willing it into existence by saying that. That is not my intention. Hopefully we can do some defending here and then get the ball forward as the ball's floated towards the back post. Mancini doesn't get his header on it, but reacts quickest to the second ball. Now gives it to Luca, of course. He's playing as that target forward. He will look to hold up the ball. Ball played through to Sesko. Could be on for his 2nd goal of the game. He's got his 2nd goal of the game. Zakharyan with a sensational assist from centre mid. That defence-splitting ball from deep was just divine. It was beautiful. Luca, as that target forward, drops in deep. Tonali gives it to Zakharyan. Sesko turns on the afterburners, gets in behind, and then a little chip over the keeper. I'd like some fish with that chip. That was delicious. Lazio with a free kick. Floated in towards the back post. Marco parries it over the bar. Maybe a little warning there for us that this game isn't going to be entirely plain sailing. Although in the back of my mind, I am thinking, how quicker a hat-trick could Sesko get today? He's got 2 goals inside the first 23 minutes. We've dealt with the corner. Everything's fine. 10 minutes left of this first half. Lazio really, really struggling to get into the game, which, I mean, I'm not going to complain about. It might sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. I'm very, very happy with what we've seen. Tonali nods it down, and now it is with, well, Sesko, who needs to be a little bit careful there. He got caught out in possession. Lazio try and get the ball forward quickly, but it's read well by our kind of defensive trio. Early stages, I feel like, of this season, we're not really missing anyone. I was about to say we're not really missing Soleil. We're not missing Soleil. We're not missing Zakharyan either, because he is still at the club. He's got a goal and an assist. And while there was that bid that we had from Inter that I didn't know how to feel about, we've adapted since he's still at the club, and it's kind of worked out for us. Almada to Zakharyan, the 2 centre mids link up. The finish is superb. Oh my word, what a performance so far here. Free kick to Marco. Is he going to float in or is he going to go on his own? He is. He hits the post and it's cleared away. Lazio, I mean, this could get really embarrassing for them. I mean, 3-0 at halftime is already a little bit embarrassing. We have been just absolutely perfect. Zakharyan, goal and an assist. Almada with an assist as well. I really, really like the way that our midfield is looking in this game here. Is there a more satisfying sight in Football Manager than when your entire 11 just have green, happy, smiley faces and big green ratings next to them? I don't think anything compares. Maybe a good youth intake compares. But besides that, nothing else in Football Manager comes close. Musa, on his right foot, could go for goal. I think he did go for goal there. It was an atrocious effort over the bar. Now, we have got 2 more games in the next week, so with that in mind, we do need to manage our minutes a little bit. I'm going to bring in Richie to play at right mid, where we're training him to play. Elsewhere, I'm going to take out Luca, I think, and bring in Raspadori. Try and get his match fitness up by giving him some game time. And you know what? While we're here, Vina, my new favourite, come on for your live commentary debut, my friend. Show us what you're made of. 28 minutes left for him to make his mark on this game. Is it a risk making all my subs with, well, just under half an hour left? Maybe slightly. But at the same time, we have been so far on top in this game. Lazio are struggling. And, well, we are just continuing to defend superbly. Mancini's been called into action a few times, the new right centre-back. In this game, he's looked very, very good so far. I hope they're not about to score here, though. Marusic in the wide area. Don't let him get the ball into the middle. Alberto Mancini, he gets it away again. Luca can't flick on to Sesko, but Almada now has it. I mean, we're not going to score again, are we? I'm just about to make some tactical changes. We can't have a goal now. Musa, Luca, Almada, Tonali, Zakarian, Sesko, DeMarco. If he scores that, it's one of the best team goals I've seen all year, but he's hit it into Rosette. Throw in on the far side, though. Vina is going to take it. Tonali tries to pass it back to Vina unsuccessfully. Oxlade-Chamberlain looking to get the ball forward to Abel Ruiz, the Spanish forward for Lazio. Goes inside, hits it over. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of very poor shooting on display in this game. Lazio, goal kick. I'm going to hope that we can get the ball forward quickly here. I felt like Sesko was inevitably going to get a hat-trick in this game. My expectations of that are waning slightly, and while Raspadori could be through, probably could have, should have, maybe scored. Still 3-0. Good save by the Lazio goalkeeper. Unfortunately for Lazio, they are already 3 goals down. So they need to do more than just have some good saves. They need to get the ball forward. And right now, we are penning them back. With 20 minutes left here, we are still dominating possession. We've had 26 shots to their 6. You wouldn't be surprised if we get a goal or 2 more, would you, between now and the end of the game? Zakarian, not the best ball there. They've cleared it away. 7 minutes left of this game. The Sesko hat-trick feels like it might be vanishing before us, but, well, that isn't going to upset me too much because we are just carving them open. Thiago Almada, the £67 million man, charging through the middle, shooting over the crossbar again. I tell you what, if all these shots over the crossbar had been on target, this could have been a much more high-scoring game. As it stands, though, I'm not going to complain that much. A 3-0 victory, really good performance, convincing display, got a little bit of rotation in there, which is always nice. Sesko, man of the match with an 8.7, Badiashile with an 8.4, and Marco got an 8.2. In the end, Lazio did have 10 shots on target. Our keeper did the business there, even if we didn't really see any of the highlights for it. So with that result, Sesko has sent us to the top of the Serie A table, of course. We are ahead of Milan on goal difference. Speaking of which, we've got them in 6 days' time. But before then, Juventus midweek. I don't want to rotate things too much for these 3 games. I want to have our best 11 available. With that in mind, I'm going to rest the players. I'll see you guys in a few days. Let's try and make it 2 out of 2, shall we? Okay, game number 2, taking on Juve. Fairly uneventful midweek. I feel like at this point in the season, right, January is kind of the next thing you're looking forward to. I feel like you do all your transfers, then September, October, November, it's all about the matches, really. It's all about that tactical tinkering, which at the moment, I don't feel like we need to do a great deal of. I feel like we've got a pretty good system, at least based off the last game. Of course, I feel like Juventus versus Lazio, there's a bit of a step up in quality. There's a reason why Juventus in this universe are predicted to finish 3rd, and it's because they've got a good team, although I will say Zidane needs to do something with this team. Juventus, I thought, were going to be the big bad of this entire save game. And to be honest, they've not really pushed us for either of the titles we've had to win so far. Maybe this year's going to be different. I say that. Right now, they're down in 11th. They've got 2 wins and 2 losses. The 2 losses coming away from home. And the good news for us is we're taking them on at home today. In terms of team selection, nothing different. Let's get into the game. Raspadori, still on the bench. Still waiting really for him to be fully fit. I don't feel like there's any reason to change anything today. Why change something that's working? So just looking at Juventus' team for this game, they are playing a 4-3-3. You might notice they did end up signing Dominguez, a player who I was eyeing up. Up top, they've got Vlahovic, and in the end, they didn't have to sell Locatelli. So he's going to be a man at centre defensive mid who I think is going to be very important for Juventus. I think the big challenge for him is going to be trying to shut down both Almada and Zakharyan simultaneously. I don't think that anyone is capable of doing that when they're playing at their best. First highlight of the game starts with a Juventus goal kick. We have been on top in this game so far, 56% of the ball, but they've launched it through the middle to Vlahovic, who's hit it against the crossbar. It's not crossed the line. Everything's fine, I'm calm. That last highlight really caught me off guard. I didn't expect it just to go straight to Vlahovic for the one-on-one, but, well, we've got away with it. Let's hope that we can make this second chance count as Zakharyan gives it to DiMarco, who looks to pick out Sesko in the middle, but can't. Badiashile nods it down to Almada. Zakharyan, Luca, Sesko shoots the wrong side of the post. I'll tell you what, after his finishing last game, I backed him to finish that one. That was a little bit disappointing. Bobby Firmino playing for Juventus, that's something that makes me feel uncomfortable. He's playing out, I think, in the wider area for them. They've also got Aspilicueta. We won't question all these transfers, and, well, I won't question that save either. That came through a hell of a lot of traffic from range. Marco's turned it around the post, but we might still now have a corner to deal with. Whip towards the back post. Tonali nods it away from danger. Juventus maybe just growing into this game slightly. Well, the ball again in our half immediately. This time, though, Badiashile mops up the pieces. Tonali, Zakharyan, Almada linking up nicely. Luca to Sesko. Missed one-on-one. Could he score this one? No. Szczesny makes an absolutely massive stopping goal. I mean, both teams have had chances. Somewhat surprising, it's still 0-0 at the moment. Chances for, well, both teams, and, well, maybe a half chance there. Badiashile heads over. 7 minutes left to the half. Is it really going to be 0-0 at the break? I say that. It might not be 0-0 at the break because we've got another chance, perhaps. Romero with the ball for us as we're playing it out from the back. Juve, you can see, kind of pressing right at the front, but playing very narrowly. Looks like there is a little bit of space in the wide areas for us to utilise, and maybe DiMarco is going to do just that here. Gives it to Zakharyan. Sesko back to goal. 180 turn. Hammers it in. And I'll tell you what, that is a very, very good finish. Zakharyan with another assist as well. Things we love to see. He gets forward alongside DiMarco here. I mean, look at the run from Zakharyan here. He just sees a gap to get into, gets there, pulls across the defender, gives Sesko half an inch of space, and he just smashes it in. At half-time, 1-0 here. I think we're probably worth our lead. It's not been the most convincing of performances. I feel like, yeah, it's been fine. I'm not kind of blown away like I was against Lazio, where we were 3-0 up at this point, but ultimately, I think we've looked good for our lead. We've had a couple of maybe warning signs that Juve are capable of creating stuff, so we need to remain vigilant. And to be honest, we may even need another goal here to make sure of things. DiMarco has an effort from the free kick that's saved. I thought we were going to get off to the dreamy start to the second half. I mean, maybe we still could. Mancini, Luca, Musa. Can we make something happen here? No. Juve, plenty of men back, defending narrowly. Aspilicueta gets it away. Chiesa now with the ball. And surely that's all she wrote. Although, it's been gifted. Sesko, wide area, needs to hold it up. Goes down in a heap. I think he wanted a penalty. It didn't look like a penalty, did it? Surely that's the chance now gone, right? Juve get it away. Romero, Badiashile. I'm going to keep commentating it in case something happens because it feels like it could. So many men forward for us here. Almada, Luca, hits it. Oh my word. I thought that was going to go in the top corner. Just over the bar. Musa on this near side. On a yellow card. Not having a particularly good game, the right mid, but, well, he whips it in towards the back post. And if he'd got an assist there, suddenly his match rating shoots up and we don't question the fact that right now he's on a 6.9. Elsewhere, DiMarco's also on a 6.9. And Almada not having the greatest of games. But I'm going to remain patient as Zakharyan finds himself through in the middle and drags his shot wide. He got an assist earlier. He nearly got a goal again. An hour played. I'm going to make my first change here. I'm going to take off Musa on a booking just because I don't think it's worth the risk. Of course, we don't really have that natural right mid option. Richie is going to be the man we put out there. Unlike last match, though, I feel like I'm happy kind of holding on to our subs for now. We don't need to change things too prematurely. We don't need to take Almada off. Although maybe we should because he's just missed a chance there. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like when you've got players as good as Almada, even when they're having a bad game, you kind of just want to keep them on the pitch because they could just have this moment of magic. As, oh my word, the ball has been put in by Richie. Has Badiashile scored that, or was it Sesko? I don't even know. We're checking for an offside. It's not been given, I don't think. Richie passed to by Almada, who crosses it in, and then I think it's Badiashile heads it. Sesko was also right under it. Keeper couldn't hold on to it. It's a goal for the left centre-back. And, well, Juve, you can see they've changed their system. They've gone more defensive. It's not worked out for them. And suddenly, there's only 8 minutes left. We're 2 goals to the good. Let's bring in Notto. Let's give him a little bit of game time. I am going to swap him and Sesko around just because the right attacking striker for us plays in a lot of heading areas on set pieces. And Notto's not very good in the air. So rather than change our set pieces, we'll just put our next tallest striker there. Elsewhere, I've got one more sub I can make. I'm going to bring in Pabega for Zakayan, just because I don't want Pabega to get unhappy. He's a player who last year, of course, was our go-to box-to-box midfielder. Kind of keen to give him a chance as the centre mid on attack, because I think he can play that role really well. And well, he might get a chance here as Brimmer done a foul there on Badiashile. He's already on a yellow card. I think we're about to get a penalty. And with, 4 minutes left of this game may have already been beyond doubt. If we get a third here, it will be beyond doubt. VAR has awarded the penalty. Sesko is going to be the man to take it. A man who's been on form this episode, and he continues to be on form. Scores from the penalty spot, 3-0. I think that's game set and match. Or is it? Is there going to be more? Tonali in possession. Almada, I want a fourth. I'm feeling a fourth. Could we make the fourth happen? Marco to Badiashile. Options forward here for us. Romero. Mancini. Juve continuing to press, but they've not been very effective at winning the ball in dangerous areas off us with the press, and instead we're just able to play through it like this. Richie playing that right mid position, runs straight into Danilo with the ball. Not the greatest moment ever, but Juventus very generously, they just give us the ball straight back, and we'll make something more happen here maybe. Tonali gives it to Notto, the youngster. Fires just the wrong side of the post, a little like Sesko did in the first half. That may well be the last highlight of the game. It is the last highlight of the game, but it is another 3-0 victory. Benjamin Sesko with the hat-trick. He didn't get it last game. He's got it in this one. Sesko, man of the match again. Give him some praise. Plays him like he should. Elsewhere, you can see here, Milan win again. They beat Spezia 2-0. It means that this next match is between the 2 teams left with a 100% record in the league. I say that, Roma technically also do have it, but they've not played a 5th game yet, so they don't count. We have got Milan in, only a few days' time. We take them on the 28th, so you know the deal by now. I'm going to just rest the players again. We're going to, rest them till the next game. I'm going to see you guys for that one. Same team again, probably. Maybe I'll bring in Raspadori. I don't know. I'll see you in a moment. We'll see what I've decided to do. So right now, there are 3 teams unbeaten at the top of Serie A. Ourselves, Roma and Milan. Of course, Roma and Milan haven't really been rivals to us, I feel like, in this save game, like, perhaps Lazio have been and Inter previously. Inter have started the season unbeaten, but they've drawn a few more games than they'd like to admit. This game for us here could really set the tone. We've got off to a really good start. Sesko's been on fire. 5 goals in 5. You can see here he's leading the average ratings alongside Badiashile, who's currently on an 8.0. Kind of glad that we didn't sell this centre-back. And, in terms of our team for this Milan game, the good news for us is everyone is available, including the much-awaited return of Raspadori. 4 goals scored in 3 games to start this season. He got his injuries, had 1 appearance on off the bench. He's going to start alongside Sesko. Can I hope that this game, maybe Almada can do a little bit more? Considering we spent 67 million on him, he's been a little bit quiet. I suppose we could argue the same of Tonali, but right now he's on a 7.6. He has definitely been doing the business for us. He's very good in the middle. We've kept, 2 clean sheets in a row? Let's try and make it 3 for 3, shall we? So AC Milan playing a 4-2-3-1. Need to be a little bit wary of that. They've got Divock Origi leading the line. They're also playing McKennie at right attacking mid. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Is that weird or am I weird? Maybe they're playing him as a Ramdeuter. I've never seen a player whose best role is Ramdeuter. This is a weird timeline we live in. 20 minutes played. Of course, this is the first away game we've had of this episode. Both previous games at home. I'm expecting Milan to provide tough opposition, but I want to believe we've got the quality to see them off as well. The Milan former man, Tonali, going to be running the show from deep. Gives it to DeMarco. Zach high and has it. And his effort hits the crossbar. Milan are playing out from the back. What are they doing? Tomori! My English partner in crime. Thank you very much, mate. Oh, my word. I mean, what's just happened there? The goal that could have been scored by Zakayan would have been superb. DeMarco's little flick on from the Tonali through ball. When it fell, you can see back here to the defence. I mean, what are Milan doing? I've got questions. I don't need answers. We've got the goal. Sesko with it. I don't know if Raspadori will be given an assist for his tackle there. Doesn't really matter. We're a goal up. Milan with the ball here, trying to work the ball through the middle. Defensively, we've looked pretty sound, I feel like, so far, considering how attacking, you could argue, our centre mid kind of setup is. Tonali's looked very, very solid, although I say all of that, I might have just jinxed it all. Divock Origi scored. 8 minutes left of the half. It's 1-1. I think this is actually going to be checked by VAR. He looked onside to me, but I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. I have been wrong again. You know what? I'm kind of relieved. What happened here? Where did he come from? He made the run from deep. In fact, it's not even him who's offside. It's Weston McKennie. It might have been Chidera who was off. I was looking at the wrong man. I was going to say, I thought Origi was on. What have we just done? What have we just done? I mean, they gave us a gift. We've very nearly given them a gift. Corner for Tonali. Going to be whipped in. Headed by Sesko against the crossbar, and it goes just over. Okay, that was a very good first half performance. Keep it going. We've been, I feel like, on top in this game. I think the statistics suggest we've been on top in this game, but we've nearly shot ourselves in the foot, not once, but twice. We need to remain vigilant here. We need to remain on it. It kind of feels like the Juventus game where we're a goal to the good. We probably deserve to be that goal ahead, but we feel like we could concede. I feel like we could concede, certainly. And with Milan on the attack, those fears could be realised. Can we do some defending here? It's smashed at DeMarco. I thought for a second it might have hit his hand, but it's not been given. And now it's going to be on DeMarco to try and get the ball forward. Tomori wins his header. Milan with the ball in the middle, giving it to, Origi, and then McKennie, who I've questioned. It'd be very on brand, wouldn't it, really, if he was the man to inspire a Milan goal from somewhere. And, he could well do that. Tight angle, hits against the outside of the post. And it's still 1-0 somehow. Throwing on the far side, Theo Hernandez with it. It does feel like Milan are growing into this game. Would like to nip that in the bud and get maybe what could be a momentum-shifting, a momentum-halting goal. Theo Hernandez down the far side, gives it to Benacer. Inside to Vranks. Now with Calabria. They've knocked the ball around nicely here, Milan. They know our weakness. They know that we struggle when teams move the ball from one side to the other. On that occasion, though, they had a bit of a letdown. And, I was about to make some tactical changes once I finished talking, but we'll have to hold off for now because Milan are on the attack again. Weston McKennie on this near side. Gives it to Vranks. Calabria. Options queuing up in the middle. Origi is one of them. Mancini wins his header, though. Sesko with it. Could we launch a counter-attack? Could we try and get the ball forward quickly to Raspadori? The answer is no. Milan launch it. Origi, one-on-one. Oh, my word. He's completely done us with a dink. I don't want to watch the replay. If I just look down, will it be fine? Okay, the VAR's checking it. It's been disallowed. We are getting very lucky. It's a good job that Milan don't know the offside rule. This finish was filth. Was he off? Okay, he was offside. It's fine. Can we discuss this finish, though? Half volley, just dinks it. I didn't need another highlight right away. Why are we doing this, Football Manager? Almada, Zakharyan takes it inside. Nice move. Sesko, Raspadori. Zakharyan goes down, and Diogo Liete, I mean, he's on a booking. He's now no longer on a booking. He's now on a red card. He is off the pitch for Milan. A goal disallowed for offside and the game changes instantly. McKennie's been subbed off as a result of all of that. And you can see now they are playing a 4-4-1 of sorts. Raspadori's not had a good game. I'm going to bring in Luca and move Sesko back out onto the left-hand side. Almada's looked a little poor again, dare I say. We're going to bring in Pessina for him. And we have one last sub. Romero on a booking. Let's get him off for Scalvini. The last thing we need now is to go down a man as well. We have the man advantage. We have the goal advantage. 20 minutes left. This should be simple. Oh, it might get simpler if we could get another. Ball whipped in. Headed again over the bar at the near post. We have had a fair few chances like that, I feel like, over the matches of this episode. Yet to take any of them, it feels like, at least directly from a corner. But we might have a chance to get our second of this game yet. Pessina, who's only just come on, immediately on a yellow card. Because of his red card last season, I've now lost the ability to trust him. And seeing him on a booking does scare me slightly. Hopefully it won't be a problem. As well, he is on the ball. Speaking of the devil, plays it through Zakharyan. Can he finish it? Of course he can. My favourite player. My main man. 4 goals for the season for the centre mid. This is only, the 6th or 7th league game of the year. And well, with Milan down a man, with ourselves 2 goals to the good, you have to imagine it's going to be Milan's flawless start of the season that is going to be the start to the season that crumbles away. Lovely, lovely goal. Lovely, lovely finish. We will take that. Thrown for Milan deep in their own half. I mean, we've won the previous 2 games 3-0. I want to believe we could get a third here to make it 3-3. Chance maybe as Chidera has the ball for Milan, bringing it forward. Of course, they are down a man. They're without a centre attack in mid. There's no one really in the middle to make stuff happen, but maybe they don't need that player. I say maybe they don't need it. They definitely don't need it. Milan have scored. They've made it 2-1, and well, the dream of the 3-0 is dead. The dream of 3 clean sheets in a row is dead. That was disappointing defending to say the best. Scalvini there in the middle, daydreaming. Probably should have had his man fresh off the bench. You'd think he'd be right on it like a car bonnet. He wasn't. He let the man through. The good news for us, I think, as the full-time whistle goes, is we are going to win this game. We are going to just about get by. And whilst 2-1 makes it look like a close game, to be honest, I feel like we probably could have and maybe should have scored a few more. That was, it was fine. We get the win. Not a wow-wow-wee-wow performance, I suppose, as Borat would say. You know, today's been a truly inspirational episode when I'm quoting Borat. But look, it's a flawless start to the season. DeMarco, 10 key passes, 8.5 rating. He's back, everyone. I say that. How did he get so many key passes? Tonali's on set pieces more this year, and somehow DeMarco still getting good ratings. I won't complain. Now, you might have spotted it. Our next game is against Liverpool, but given the fact that we've got Celtic and Sevilla in our group, I want to believe that even if we were to slip up against Liverpool, we would still be able to make it out this group in the top 2. I feel like the Champions League this year, in terms of the group stage, should be straightforward. If that isn't the case, maybe next episode we'll come back and do the games against Napoli and Liverpool. I feel like those 2 games in themselves could be fairly interesting ones. Napoli currently up in 5th and looking strong. And when I look at the games on the horizon, to be honest, they are the 2 that jump out. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you did, do drop a like on the video. I'll see you guys again for more soon. And until then, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.